William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. We're going to sleep.
Welcome to the Courthouse Hotel in Shoreditch ahead of a very important JD Nxtgen. We've been all over the world, but nothing quite cleanses the soul like a sold-out York Hall on a Friday night. So many big important fights, British titles on the line, some of the best young prospects in the sport of boxing, topped off by a great production by Sky Sports in the UK, streamed live across America on DAZN, and then all topped off with a salt beef bagel with mustard at the end. Don't get any better than Friday night at York Hall. We're going to hear from all the guys up here on the top and bottom tables. Before we do, I'm going to pass over to Adam Smith, head of boxing for Sky Sports.
Thanks, Eddie. I echo those words. You know, it's fantastic being in Madison Square Garden and those wonderful places over in America, but there is nothing like the York Hall, Bethnal Green, and I think everybody here today and all those who are coming who'll pack it out on Friday night, and everyone watching on Sky agrees with that. There's no bad seat in the place. The atmosphere is always electric. It's a special venue. So many fighters have come through, so many great champions. I remember watching Johnny Tapia there. So many wonderful stories and fights that have come out of that incredible venue. It's the spit and sawdust of what we do, but it's more than that. It's the home of boxing, and I can't wait to be back. And salt beef bagels and the greasy cafe opposite the road, all of that stuff. It's fantastic, and we're going to have a great night on Friday. Good to have boxing back on our time. You know, 7 till 11 o'clock on a Friday night is perfect for us. And what a display, what an array of talent and great fighters in front of us, fighters that have got the chance to appear live, to appear on a big platform, and we're going to do everything we can over the next 48 hours to really push these fighters on our digital and social platforms. It's a big night for Conor Benn, you know, headlining for the first time. We all know the story. Now we need to see him step up in level and see whether he could deal with that, and some real experienced fighters on, some great matches on the card as well. So I think top to bottom, it's going to be an electric night. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Adam. We'll start with the ladies and gentlemen to the table below. First, Reece Bellotti. Reece, welcome back. This featherweight division has been a bit crazy, isn't it? I mean, you've seen guys that have been storming through, looking like they're going to take over the domestic scene. You were one of them, and obviously got beat by Ryan Doyle. Ryan Doyle looked like he was going to be the guy that was going to come through and start taking over. Jordan Gill beat him. Everyone was raving about Jordan Gill. Jordan Gill got beat. Lee Wood's coming back. It's a big sort of merry-go-round going around, but obviously for you, still got that desire to come through and chase all those guys down.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And like you say, it's the fight game. Right? You can get beat at any opportunity. You've got to be on your game all the time. Obviously, I've learned from getting beat twice now, and I'm looking to come back and gain more experience and then challenge those boys that are pushing on as well.
In defeats, you've seen top fighters losing. How much has that taught you, those two defeats, particularly the Ryan Walsh one, where you were competitive against a very good fighter in there? And I don't think it felt like too much of a loss to you on the night. I know you were disappointed to lose, but how do you see that division just away from those world-class fighters, you know, with the likes of Lee Wood, Jordan Gill, yourself, even Ryan Doyle, and potentially Ryan Walsh as well?
Yeah, like you say, Ryan Walsh is a quality fighter, and I felt like I was competitive in there. Again, looking back at it, probably could have done a lot more, and I feel like I could do a lot more, and I believe I'm at that level, and obviously over time I'll prove it again.
Dwayne Sinclair, welcome to the show, undefeated. I've got a call from Dillian White and told me that you've got to be on the card, and I'll do as what he says, to be honest with you. We know you're a quality fighter, spending lots of time and in the gym and sparring with Josh Boazzi as well, but an important fight for you on Friday night as you head towards domestic titles.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, as you said, thousands of rounds of Josh Boazzi. We grew up in sport together, but you just make no mistake about it. Believe you me, I'm no sparring partner to get the only game you have to get there. But yeah, I just think just got to go and show what I'm all about. Like you said, I'm undefeated at the moment. I've got I've got a good record, and I just need to start pressing on and start fighting the boys that where I can start proving myself. So yeah, just ready to put on a show.
Shannon Courtenay, I know you caught me, you always tell me off, and you scare me more than Dillian White. But women's boxing is just in an unbelievable position right now. I mean, I think that when you talk about quality across sport, in terms of to the broadcasters and to the fans, women's boxing is becoming more and more important. I don't think there's many cards that we produce that don't have a female fight on the card. I mean, you saw Katie Taylor against Delphine Pearson lit up Madison Square Garden. You had 20,000 people on their feet. It was one of the fights of the year. And even across all divisions now, you have standout fighters coming through. Shannon is, I believe, the next phase of that, the next gen, if you like. But what a time to be a female fighter. And always stress, female boxing, male boxing, it doesn't really matter. It's about bums on seats, it's about interest from broadcasters, and it's about entertainment. And Shannon, your third fight, you've had some big arena fights, and now you're in York Hall, which I know is a place you'll love to fight in.
Yeah, I boxed as an amateur, and I won a title, my first belt as an amateur, so it's a good eye-opener for me. And I've done a copper box, I've done O2s, and doing York Hall, so I think all is definitely friendly.
Obviously only 2 fights in, but what would you say is the thing you've learnt most so far over those fights, and what are you looking to put into play on Friday night?
I've had 2 quite negative opponents that have been quite awkward so far, so I'm hoping that I actually have someone who actually comes to want to fight to let me showcase what I can do. But we've been working really hard in the gym, and this is definitely going to be the best version of me. I've never felt stronger, and I'm expecting a big explosive performance on Friday night.
Look forward to seeing you back in the ring. 2 gentlemen below me have actually shared a ring over this side of the pond, 2 of the finest young talents in the sport of boxing. Welcome to Charles Frankham and to Otha Jones III. Obviously with our evolving Matchroom USA company as well, we've signed some of the best young talent stateside. Otha Jones, one of those, just an exceptional young amateur fighter. Dived in his debut against a very, very difficult opponent and showed that he is already a class fighter. We'll start with you, Charlie. Welcome. York Hall, obviously boxed here, I presume, many times yourself, and looking forward, sold plenty of tickets, going to have a lot of support in there on Friday.
Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of support that Friday, and you know what, it's the first time me ever boxing in York Hall.
Is it? Okay, well I'm glad I said possibly then. But you two, it's interesting because I know when we signed you guys about at the same time, huge amateur experience, the pair of you, and good to be sharing a card with Otha Jones as well.
Yeah, obviously we shared the ring as amateurs before, and it'd be a great girl to be boxing on together with.
Tell us about Nottingham and that pro debut. I know you weren't 100% happy with your performance, tricky customer in there, but good rounds under your belt, and what did you learn from that pro debut?
It was a tricky customer, obviously. I should have bought a pair of knee pads, but he got me some good rounds in, and hopefully I'll be able to put on a show on Friday.
Otha, welcome my friend. I'm delighted to see you over this side of the pond. I know you've been here before. Saw you getting off the coach yesterday. You looked a little bit tired. Feeling good now? Ready to go?
Yeah, I was a bit tired of playing with 6 hours, but I'm good now.
Obviously, you got a huge amount of amateur experience. How excited are you to box as a pro for the first time in the UK?
I'm very excited. A lot of fans from the UK show me love on Instagram, and that was my first time. I can't wait to put on the show and show them what I'm really made of.
Obviously, only your second fight, but looking to rack up some quick wins. You know, you had a small injury going into this fight, but looking to get out plenty of times in the summer as well and move pretty quick in this sport. We saw you take a very, very tough fight in your first fight, and obviously that's the intentions you have to move quickly as a pro.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to show everybody that got signed from the zone that I'm the real deal, and I'm here to stay.
Look forward to seeing your second fight on Friday. You're going to love the York Hall, mate. I promise you that. On to the top table, and we have 3 really, really good fights for you here. 3 really important fights as well. A couple of domestic classics as well, and of course we talked about Conor Benn stepping up and headlining for the first time. I'm going to start with the British title final eliminator between Craig Richards and Andre Stirling. Just a brilliant fight. I love these kind of fights that are so important to both men's careers. A little bit of London spice in there as well. And we've seen the build-up, and Craig used to be such a quiet guy. It seems like everyone you fight these times you've got beef with, which is it's great. Listen, for me, keep it coming. But I never expected that from you. But Andre, welcome. This is a great fight. A lot of people talking about this fight, and a fight that could really, change your career and put it on an unbelievable path towards that British title.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. I'm very appreciative of being on the platform, and I'm going to do what I've got to do on the 21st of June on Friday, and that's deal with Craig Richards.
Obviously, you know each other. I believe you boxed as amateurs together as well. What do you know of Craig Richards as a fighter, and what have you seen from him recently where you believe you'll win this fight?
I haven't seen. Well, I believe I can win every fight I'm in. To be honest, Craig Richards, it's obviously he's going to come to win and he's going to come to fight, but I don't think he has enough to deal with me. I believe in my ability and I've got a lot of skills that I want to show on the 21st of June.
We've seen that clip recently of you two outside the Peacock, I think it was. What was all that about? Because I just saw it. I didn't even. I enjoyed it, to be honest.
Yeah. It went viral. We love the sport. This is why we love the sport. We've got two passionate fighters that really love what they do and very dedicated. And when we saw each other, it just was, the emotion just overwhelmed. And just do it there. He wants to win. I want to win. So that's what it is.
Craig. As I said, your last fight against Jake Paul, you had a little bit of spice in. I thought it was a brilliant performance from you as well. Expecting the same performance?
Yeah, of course. I believe I'll get probably a better performance. I think every time in the gym, every week, every day I'm learning, I'm progressing. Of course, the fight ended a lot quicker than people probably expected with the bullfight, so I probably didn't get to demonstrate what I've been working on. Since then, I've come on loads even more than that. So this is a perfect opportunity. A guy who's hungry, come to win, unbeaten. So it will probably give me the chance to go and display some of the stuff I've been working on and show everyone how good I really am.
Same question to you. Shared a ring with Andre Stirling before. How do you see him as a fighter? What do you expect, and how do you expect to deal with him on Friday? I
think he's a good fighter, but as I say, I just believe that I'm at that level where I can push on from domestic level, and I think this will be the fight to show that. So I believe, I'm going to go out and do the job and execute what I need to do on the 21st.
I think when you were at 168, you were always tight on the weight. You didn't carry the same kind of power. One thing that, since you've stepped up to 175 pounds, you seem to have a lot more power and confidence in that power. I think you're punching a lot harder at light heavyweight now. Do you see the stoppage on Friday? 100%.
I see a stoppage because at 168 I was flat. I lose my punch power, my energy system, a lot of things. It wasn't, even when I was sparring, I wasn't as good. You can see the difference in the gym and the results of my sparring and everything, my performances in the gym and outside the gym. After I took obviously that late notice fight for the British title, when I stepped up, went back to the drawing board, no one's gone past 3 rounds. I've got everyone out within 3 rounds, so you can show my punch power is a lot different now.
Look forward to a great fight between Craig Richards and Andre Stirling, final eliminator for the British title on Friday night. Another great British title fight is Ted Cheeseman against Cheeseman-Conway. I think this division is so exciting right now, so many great young fighters coming through. These are 2 fighters that have a huge amount of support, plenty of heart, power as well, and I think this is going to be a fantastic fight. Kieran, we'll start with you. Welcome. Been on a couple of our shows early on, and I was very, very, very impressed. We know you took part in the Ultimate Fighter recently, which is going to be one you can win and lose over 3 rounds, but faultless as a pro outside of that tournament, and a massive opportunity for you to become British champion on Friday night.
Yes, it's a huge opportunity for me, and I'm grateful for it. The odds are massively against me. I'm unsure why. I'm here to win and make history for my town and myself, and that's all I'm here for.
I've seen you fight, and again, you are strong, you move well, you're technically very solid as well, you've got plenty of heart, you've got a good chin, you can punch. Should be a fantastic fight. We know Ted's coming off a defeat for the European title But you see this as a 50-50 fight in your mind?
I see it as a very good fight. 50-50, I'm not so sure. I think that I should be the favourite. I think it's more 60-40 in my favour. I don't see it 50-50 at all, but it's good. It's a great fight, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm proud to be a part of it.
What gives you that confidence? What did you see particularly? I know Sergio Garcia is a very good fighter, but what have you seen in Ted Cheeseman that gives you the confidence to believe you'll win on Friday?
I just know that I'm very adaptable, and I don't see that in him. I don't want to badmouth him. I'm not going to sit here and slay him or anything. I just believe in myself, and I'm here to do the business.
Ted, this is a great fight for you. Obviously, disappointment in February. Great night at the O2 Arena, great atmosphere, but wasn't your night. Obviously, a lot of your build-up's been well documented to that fight, in the build-up to this fight as well. How ready are you for this fight in what is a very, very important fight for your career coming off that Sergio Garcia loss?
It's a very important fight for me because I'm not delusional. If I lose this fight, it's finished for me in boxing really. There's no point of fighting at a level really below this. If I go below this level now, it's over, you know what I mean? You got to build up again. This is like a build-up fight. I was at European title level. I made my own mistakes. I weren't successful in the last fight. But as Kieran just said, he should think he should be the favourite. All he's done is fought journeyman other than the ultimate boxer tournament. I fought Carson Jones, Senior Byfield, Paulie Upton, Matty Ryan, Lloyd Elliott. I think everyone's overlooked these opponents in these fights because of my last performance, and what everyone forgets is the last fight was world number 2. We weren't number 5 or 6 in Britain, he was number 2 in the world, and I stayed in there for 12 rounds. I haven't put my hands down and was walking forward letting him hit me, and he couldn't hurt me or get me out of there. So I don't get how a top 15 sort of British fighter thinks they're going to be the favourite against me. And I'm in unbelievable shape, the best shape I've been in probably, because I'm fully focused on boxing now, and I've got tunnel vision. And when I go in there on Friday night, I'm going in there to rip his head off. You know what I mean? And as he said, he's not bad mouthing. I'm not bad mouthing him, but it's just that's my plan. I'm going to apply the pressure early and show him that an 8-round fight against the journeyman's a total different against a top domestic fighter in a 12-round fight. I think once it's our first 3 rounds, you're going to see he might look alright, but once we get past there and I start keep pushing the pressure, if I ain't already got him out of there by then, you're going to see he's going to start holding a lot. He's looking ragged, and sooner or later he's going to get stopped.
Obviously, when a fighter comes off a defeat, you are right. He is a world-class fighter in Sergio Garcia. It's a mission for them physically and mentally to come back. You feel good. You feel fresh. You know, confidence is high. Physically, you're in a good place.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, or about 3.5 weeks ago, I had a couple of bad spars, and I thought, bloody hell. Usually, when I spar and it ain't so good, I think, you know what, I'm going to perform on the night. But then I realised I was tired. I had a long camp. For this camp, I've had 14 weeks in camp because I've been solely on it, working on a lot of stuff. Tony gave me a couple of days off. I come back in the gym and I've been sparring unbelievable since, you know what I mean? And I thought, bloody hell, it ain't gone. I thought it was gone, but it ain't gone. It was obviously getting my head mentally, getting through things, and the confidence is back. And I know the fight that I've been in with. If you look at my, not last fight, the fight before with Senior Byfield, he's a really, really tricky customer. There's still, there ain't not many other domestic fighters who've wanted to just take him. Now I've beat him. And for 12 rounds, I kept the pressure on him non-stop. But this fight, 100%, I can't lose this fight in my head. I can't, otherwise, in my head, as much as other people will try and give me a chance and whatever, I don't want another chance at a lower level. I want to be at this level I'm pushing on. And I know the fight with Scott Fitzgerald, as long as I come through this, is signed, sealed, delivered, and I'm looking forward to that. But my main thing is getting Kieran Conway out there on Friday night.
Do you believe you get him out of there inside 12 rounds?
Yeah, 100%. It's the inexperience, and people jump into these fights because I've had a loss, and it comes down to middleweight. He's not a massive puncher or strong at middleweight, so to drain himself again to then come down to light middle, you know he's going to be even weaker. Then his style is boxing and moving. He's got to try and run for 12 rounds away from me, and he ain't going to be able to do it, in no way.
Forward to a great fight, Conway against Ted Cheeseman for the British light middleweight title. The WBA International welterweight title on the line. This is a great fight for you, for those who aren't aware of Cheeseman-Conway. Some great fights, lost a split decision to Samuel Vargas as well. Hugely experienced. Juicy, welcome, and big fight for you in the UK. You're very experienced. Looking forward to Friday night.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very excited to be here, especially a place where have been great champions fights and a great atmosphere of boxing. So I'm very happy to be here.
Obviously, you have a huge amount of experience fighting some world-class fighters. Conor Benn has small experience, but is an excellent young fighter. We expect a great fight between you two on Friday.
Yeah, that's what I expected, that it's going to be a good fight and that people get entertainment, and I think that my timing is better for this fight, and I can win this fight because of my experience, and it should be a good fight.
Thank you very much. Conor, very proud to see you sitting one seat away from me. That's good news for a fighter. It means that you're main event, and it's come around quickly really, but I feel like the timing is perfect for you to come out and headline your first show on Friday night at the great York Hall.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It's, sometimes I really do got to pinch myself, because it feels like yesterday I was, having my debut. It really does, and because I've only been boxing for a short period, so it's all happened so quick. So for me to be able to see it's a blessing. And thank you to Matcha and Hearn. They're taking this sport to another level. And to be able to these JD Nxtgen shows, it's for the young fighters coming through to display our skills and abilities. As far as my opponent, this is a step up. I ain't really concerned about what he offers. Not at all. Really, not at all. It don't faze me what he brings. Yeah, he's got experience, but I'm quicker. I'm younger. I can punch harder. And, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face, as they say. So when I get in the ring, I'm gonna go in there. And he's been stopped twice. I believe he's lost 6 fights. But don't get me wrong, he's been in with some quality oppositions. But I believe I'll be too much for him. And my last fight, I took it too easy. Well, not too easy. It was just really steady, calm. I really want to bring the old Conor Benn back. I really do. I really want to go in there and, take his head off with one of my left hooks. Often after my fights I go, I don't know what shot I call him with. Well, I want the same effect. And I really do want to go in there and make a statement with this fight. It's going to be a good year. Each fight I've got better. When everyone doubts me, oh yeah, I had a hard fight with that Painard. He's just beat someone who's had 16 fights and lost one. He's just beat him. Who would have thought? That's a reality check for me. And thank you, it didn't cost me my own. I went back to the drawing board and I learned, and this time I plan on displaying something else. It's going to be one hell of a fight. One hell of a fight. I don't know what to say. I don't know who's going to show up, the old Conor Benn or the new one.
I was just about to say that I was really liking the new Conor Benn, and you called it sort of boring at the O2. I thought that was a really mature performance from you. A lot of people are still getting over your last York Hall fight, which was one of the best fights we've seen in that venue. Do you not think it's about being composed in this performance? We know you've got that wild side, we know you love to fight, but what we saw from you in the last performance was a much more mature performance. Is that important, not to lose your control in this fight, your shape in this fight against someone that is very experienced?
I think that will come with time. I think I would have liked to have brought a lot more explosiveness into my last fight. It's about staying calm, it's about ring experience, mixing it up. Putting your foot on it and being aggressive, as well as then taking your time, but that'll only come with experience. I'm glad my last fight I could show that, I can box for the whole 8 and take my time. And now I really want to incorporate a little bit more of the old Conor. Still thinking, using my boxing brain, but still having that same attitude. I don't want to lose that attitude.
That Benn
attitude. I don't want to lose that. I want that to stay, because that's.
Is it hard to do that in the York Hall? Because your last fight was at the O2. It was, I think, about 7:15. This time, smaller ring, bear pit atmosphere, main event.
Well, you've got to give me goosebumps already. So, it could be. Yeah, I think he's going to get it with a left hook, and then I'm just going to take his head off, really.
Okay. Well, this is a very tough fight, and probably one that a year ago we wouldn't have put you in for sure, but the way you've developed and matured, we believe this is great timing and a very, very dangerous fight for Conor Benn and also Ted Cheeseman, Craig Richards. We continue to put our young guys in tests to see if they're ready to step up for this next level. We want to thank JD as well, because as Conor alluded to there, these shows are so important for the development of young fighters. And we've seen some go on and progress. We've seen others in the last Nxtgen, Jordan Gill, lose, and he looked like a guy who was really going to turn into a worldwide star. So anything can happen in this sport, and we hope that everybody enjoys the show, and to the fighters, good luck on Friday night. It's going to be a great show, and the weigh-in will be tomorrow at Stratford Theatre at 1 o'clock, and we look forward to a fantastic night starting live on Sky Sports at 7 p.m. and on Facebook before that from 6 p.m. We're going to have head-to-heads with all the guys from the top table and a group shot, the guys from the bottom table.
William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. We're doing a sleep.